Let's be honest, you're exhausted, you do everything yourself, every task, every project, every last minute fix. If it needs to be done right, you're the one who's doing it. And let's be real, your team, they miss deadlines, they don't take any initiatives, and if you don't micromanage them, things usually fall apart. So what do we do now? You just do it yourself because it's faster that way? The ugly truth that I didn't want to tell you is, if you do it that way, you're not leading. You are barely surviving, and you will be stuck in a cycle of exhaustion. And if you don't learn how to delegate properly, you will burn out sooner than you think. But the good news is, in this video, I will give you a 5-step magic formula that will show you exactly how to delegate. I mean the right way, not dumping tasks on people and hoping for the best. Not micromanaging until they hate you and they hate their job. Real delegation, the kind that actually frees up your time and makes your team step up. So today I'm breaking down exactly how to delegate without losing control, feeling guilty, watching your team completely. But before I give you a step-by-step guide on how to delegate, let's break it down first. Why most leaders actually suck at delegation? I'll tell you why. Some managers actually wait until they're drowning in work. So they only delegate when they're overwhelmed. They throw tasks at people last minute. Zero training, just panic mode. And then when they screw it up, say, see, that's why I don't delegate. You actually set them up for failure, so don't go back and blame them. The other reason is, most managers, to be honest, do not trust their team. You think, if I want it done right, I have to do it myself. But guess what? That mindset is exactly why your team is not stepping up. They've learned that you will just do it for them. Managers micromanage instead of delegating. And when you finally give someone a task, you check in every 5 minutes, tweak everything they do, and eventually just take it back because you want to get it done. That's not delegation. And I wouldn't even call that micromanagement. I would maybe call that babysitting. So stop doing that, please. So if this sounds like you, let's fix it. And if you want to master leadership skills like delegation, decision-making, team motivation, please subscribe to this channel. And I've put together a step-by-step system to help leaders like you level up fast. All you want to do is to click the link in my bio to join the waitlist for my course. You get exclusive leadership strategies that will help you build high-performing team without burning yourself out. So back to the topic. Delegation is not dumping work. It's about empowering your team. You always need to remember that. Okay, now I give you the step-by-step guide, the 5-step formula to delegate. Step number 1, stop hoarding tasks. You need to choose exactly what you need to delegate. And in order to do that, all you want to do is to ask yourself, does this really need to be done by me? Is there someone else who can do it? Is there someone on my team who can handle this with training? Who's ready to do it now, who's not ready to handle it now, but can handle it in the future with training. And the rule of thumb is, if it's strategic, visionary, or high impact, keep it. It's you. This is for yourself. You are the leader. And if it's repetitive, operational, or can be taught, then delegate it. Now you know what you're going to delegate. So now let's pick the right person. Step number 2, pick the right person. Not just whoever is free. You need to choose right. And the mistake that most managers make actually is that they give the task to the first available person, which is not right. And instead of doing that, match tasks based on 2 things: skill set and growth opportunity. Ask yourself, who can actually handle this? Who would benefit from learning this? Those are the 2 magic questions that you can ask yourself to identify the person in your team who can handle this. You always want to think that delegation isn't about getting things off your plate, but it's about building future leaders. Imagine that you want to train someone to be exactly like you, another version of you, or maybe better. Step number 3, after you identify that person in your team, you want to give clear instructions. No more vague handoffs. Biggest delegation fail is when you say something vague, like, hey, can you take care of this? What is this? And how are you expecting them to take care of it? Instead, be very specific. And if you want to be specific, use the 5W and H framework. What, why, when, where, who, and H is for the how. What needs to be done? Be specific. Why? Why does it matter? And the purpose should be a good purpose for the team member who's doing the task. When is it due? Set clear deadlines. Who are they reporting to? Or who supports them? Or who is going to be the support partner in this task? Where can they find the resources, docs, tools, contacts? How should it be done? Be more specific about the standards and the process. A good example of that would be, hey, I need you to be in charge of the weekly sales report. It helps us track pipeline progress. Have it done by Thursday at noon. And if you need any data, check with Sarah. Use a template in Google Drive. Make sure it's formatted for the leadership preview. Now there is no guessing, there is no confusion. So now we get to the final but most important step. And this step is follow-up. The worst thing you want to do is you either ignore it completely or check in every 5 minutes. Instead, set a check-in points up front, which means you can say something like, let's touch base on Wednesdays. And when you do, ask guiding questions. How's it going? Any thoughts? Any blockers? Any feedback? What challenges are you facing? What do you need help with? Give feedback after completion and always start with a recognition. Great job on this. Next time, let's adjust 1, 2, 3. Trust, but validate. Give them space to work, but make sure they have support when needed. So what happens when you delegate like a pro? Delegate the right way. I promise you that first thing is work is going to get done without you having to do everything. Your team will grow and they will learn new skills and take ownership. But most importantly, you will get time back. More time for you, for strategy, planning. And when you delegate effectively, you're not just making your job easier, you're building a team that can run with or without you. And that's leadership. That's real leadership. Remember, your job is to replicate you, to create more leaders like you or better. So to summarize all this, delegation isn't about dumping work, it's about developing people. And if you're stuck doing everything yourself, you're not leading. You are just surviving. So now I want to hear from you. Now I want to know what's the hardest part of delegation for you. I want you to drop it in the comments below and I really want to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and join the waitlist for my course. See you next time.